about having one. Okay.
And appreciate you, both, the team, not waiting for me. I should be on time. And if I'm not, please start without me. That's great to do. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Well,
Were you on number one, Alexander and Michal?
I think we actually started with number 4, but yeah.
Yeah, we can start from the beginning. Yeah, so 5 out of 5 Apache Beam pipelines are complete and can be run locally. And since we have the Google Cloud project, like I can test these pipelines with the Google Dataflow backend. So it will take like 1-2 days. I think that starting from Monday, I can help Michael, or I can start another task.
And overall, great progress on the Apache Beam related work.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. I forgot to say, yeah, sorry, that right now these pipelines, they work by reading data from local files or from files stored on Google's storage. But for the POC purposes, it will be enough. It's exactly the same functionality that that I had before. So we can extend yeah, this functionality reading from Kafka, directly from Kafka in this milestone if we have time, or in the next milestone when we start to work with Kafka more. So yeah, like that. So that's all. Yeah, thanks.
Great. So I know Alexander and Michal, we just had our separate one-on-ones this morning. I should probably make it a different day than the day we have our group meeting, but that's okay. So, so we talked about this. I talked about this with both of you. So who's doing what on the proof of concept, the POC environment? What's left? Is anyone stuck with not having the access or knowledge to do what is needed? And I think Michal and I talked about, like, do we want a list of who's exactly doing what and what are the steps are? And we decided, we came to the conclusion, no, that's probably too structured for where we're at now. We can just kind of figure it out as we go and be less structured. Maybe when we get to production, we'll need to plan things out a bit more, but right now it's just a proof of concept environment. So, but who's doing what next? What's left? And is anyone stuck?
I am not exactly stuck. I just finished deploying is a big word. I just finished provisioning the Kubernetes cluster with instances. I think should be enough. There is a cluster with 1 node, which is exactly what we had in the issue to begin with, and I think that's enough. And we have 1 virtual machine with GPU enabled. If we don't want that, then we can easily destroy it using the Terraform scripts. Terraform, not scripts exactly, but Terraform files I wrote. Currently, they are in my own private namespace, since I created a project in the MLOps group under gitlab.org, but it turns out I do not have access to that, and I cannot configure CI/CD in this project. So,
Do you need that access?
well, it would be nice to have it under the link I pasted to the document. Would be nice. I think Stan who has owner to that group, to MLOps group, so he probably needs to add me as a owner to the project itself so I can configure it. It's in my own private namespace for now, if anyone wants access. But it's generally a Git repository with Terraform files, and I tried to dogfood our own GitLab managed Terraform state to see if it's actually like configurable easily, and much to my surprise, it worked out of the box with no fiddling at all. So yeah, that's good stuff in my opinion. I wish it showed more of the actual resources deployed, but that's a thing to consider filing an issue for.
Great, you were able to dog food the features in GitLab to make that happen. And great that it's working too. And Alexander, you mentioned previously, starting Monday, you could take the next task related to infrastructure.
Yeah, right. So we need to provision Kafka, and we can do that on top of Kubernetes. So I think that's what we can do next related to the infrastructure.
So we need a Kafka instance in the Kubernetes cluster, right?
Yeah, I think it would be easier right now. Of course, we can launch a dedicated virtual machine and then to install Kafka there. But I think since we don't have a great performance, so maybe it will be enough to have Kafka on top of Kubernetes. Almost the same things, I think.
Doesn't Kafka have like cloud offering for this?
We can reuse Docker images, I think.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering if like Amazon has like Elasticsearch. I was wondering if GCP has its Kafka, not Kafka. Whatever.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So we can search, but there is I forgot their name. Just a second.
There is something called PubSub which we could investigate. So that's one thing.
Yeah, but we decided not to use PubSub as I understood.
Okay.
Could not be Google to be cloud vendor agnostic on it.
Yeah. So we can check Confluent, right? That's the name of the company. So they provide Kafka, and as I understood, they have some templates to install it on top of Google Cloud Platform. So I will put a link inside the doc.
All right, we can continue this asynchronously, I think.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I know we've talked about this before, and it's great to talk about it here to kind of level set. But let's also continue to communicate and coordinate on this async via the issue comments in the POC issue. I think it's a great thing to keep things transparent and async so we can move quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to cut off conversation now, though. That's just kind of a general comment. Anything else we want to discuss on this today?
Yeah, I see that we have a MLOps namespace right now. Yes. So
we do.
does it mean that I can? Yeah, does it mean that I can move the repository with the pipelines there?
Well, technically speaking, you can't because you don't have access to that namespace, nor do I. So the only person with access to that namespace is Stan currently. I think with access level higher than developer. And Stan is the owner of that namespace. So we'd have to ask Stan, or we'd actually have to file an issue to get a request for this. I'm not sure what's the procedure here. What's the correct procedure here?
Okay, see. Yeah, right now I understand. Yeah, thanks.
Is that what we prefer? Is to put it there, or do we prefer to keep it where it is?
I think it's safe to put it under the MLOps umbrella. People interested in what we are doing would be able to find it that way, because like say, if the infrastructure things like stay in my own namespace, then people won't be able to find them.
So
unless I explicitly grant them access to that.
I'd say ask Stan and or both file the issue so we have access to do it ourselves.
I ask Stan on Slack if he tells me that we need to file an access request for that, then I'll file a access request for me and Alexander and Wayne, I guess. Doc, do you want access to that namespace as well? Like you should have access to that on a developer level. I mean, as an owner or something.
Yeah, developer sounds nice.
Okay, then developer, we all have developer access by default since it's under GitLab-org namespace.
And I don't need admin access. I'm fine with
Sorry?
just, I don't need that higher level of access. I'm fine with that just being you and Alex.
All right.
With great power comes great responsibility. And I don't need that power because I probably won't use it.
I'm probably going to use it only for the CI configuration. I'm not gonna mess with Stan's machine learning bot to label issues accordingly. Because the only project that's currently there is this Tanuki Stan.
Great. Anything else on the POC environment we want to discuss today?
I think we can continue asynchronously.
Okay.
All right.
So Miha, I know you spend a lot of your time on maintainership responsibilities. You know, you're back-end maintainer and database maintainer. You're pursuing both, which is extremely laudable because we need more of those. We need more people doing that at GitLab to keep things moving with merge requests that require maintainer reviews of both types across the entire company. I know it takes up a lot of time too. So if you had a guess, what percentage of time over the next month do you think you'll be spending on applied machine learning versus maintainership responsibilities?
I
Just
am
set
unable to say
expectations.
right now. I am unable to say right now. Well, basically the gist is that I kind of put the backend maintainership on hold because we have much more of these than we have of the database maintainers. And I created an issue to actually get myself into the maintainers, like to finally graduate from being a trainee maintainer. But it's still under discussion, mostly because of, let's say the list of the issues I reviewed as a database trainee maintainer wasn't complete. So I had to like fill in the gaps, and there is a merge request open, and I pinged the database maintainers today to get the discussion underway. So I expect about maybe 10 to 20%, but not more than that if it comes to like me getting back to being a trainee.
Thanks for the updates on that. And again, thanks for volunteering to work on becoming a maintainer in 2 different areas, which is great. I'm just curious about that. 80% would not be a problem, right? If you were going to be 80% on it, it's just really awareness. So good.
It kind of varies because like if we have a rapid action going on, then you get a lot of these and they need to be like performed really quickly. But otherwise I just get like 2 or 3 merge requests per day from both backend and database. So it's like 6 merge requests per day, which doesn't take 10 minutes, but it's like more than 1 hour to review all of them and to perform the review on an acceptable level.
Yeah, it varies, right? Like I found like the one today, I'm looking at 2 to 3 hours, but I may have one that's 10 minutes then after that. So it's how much you have to dig in.
Yeah, that's the main problem when estimating how long is it going to take. I get a merge request that's like, hey, can we add a column to this table? I'm like, okay, can we change this 10 queries with huge unions? And like, I'll get back to you.
Makes sense. Great. Doug, remind me, you're a maintainer on which portions, with which focus?
Me,
Mhm.
I'm a maintainer of the backend for GitLab, for the front end and back end on Versions app. I am a reviewer of the front end on GitLab and a reviewer for database on GitLab. I was a trainee maintainer for the database, but I opted out of that as is too much to try to focus on.
Well, same with the thanks to Miho. Thanks to you for being a maintainer of various things. I don't know if it's often a thankless job, but maybe sometimes it is. So thank you. And I think we covered number 4 already, the Kubernetes instance.
Yep. So yeah, the cluster was created just maybe around 40 minutes ago, so it should be ready. If we need any changes, then we have a Terraform file for that, and we can modify it whenever anyone needs, whenever anyone feels the need to do so.
Good. Anything else we want to catch up on as a group? That's everything we recorded in the agenda in advance.
I just want to say I'm here to help out wherever I can. It may take me a little while to figure out where that is, if at all, but I'm here, and I know I scheduled some time to chat. Michal, is that how you say your name?
Yeah, you can call me Michael, works as well.
Okay. I've been called Doe, so it all works. Next week, and maybe Alexander, I'll try to catch up with you as well. But hi.
Hello.
Thanks, Doug. All right, with that, see you later, everybody.
All right. Have a
Appreciate it.
nice one. Bye.
Bye.